Well, I want to share with you today something that women after 40 often miss when it comes to trying to manage their weight. When you are exercising, it's not about exercising harder, pushing harder. It's about managing your exercise in a way that is going to work with your hormones, not against them. I know we've been told for years that it's how many calories you burn compared to how many calories you consume, and that the harder you push, the easier or the more weight you will lose. But post menopause or in menopause and perimenopause, the maths of calories in versus calories out no longer works. And we have to understand how to exercise in conjunction with our body. So the long, intense cardio sessions will raise your cortisol levels. And cortisol is one of the hormones that, when it rises high in the system in menopause, can make weight loss after 40 really difficult. And when you have cortisol and insulin, the blood sugar hormone, together, which can be exacerbated by things like poor sleep, stress, all the other hormonal changes, adding a high intensity hit class into that mix will just push your cortisol levels even higher. So if sleep is poor and your insulin's not resetting through the night, if you are sugar craving throughout the course of the day, insulin rises higher, cortisol rises higher. You might snack on things that you think it's okay because I'm going to exercise, but that high cortisol and that high insulin, the two things together are going to cause you to hold on to weight. It's one of the most difficult things in midlife that we as women struggle with. The harder you push exercise, actually, the more weight you hold on to. So what does actually work after 40 for exercise? It's not about pushing harder, it's about being smarter with the exercise that you do. So the first thing you want to think about is strength training. You want to be lifting heavier weights in the gym. You don't have to necessarily go and pump big iron kind of thing. You want to be getting your muscles to work a little bit harder, and that might mean that you just do more body weight exercises. But equally as much, it might be that you have strength training bands, that kind of thing. There's always ways to improve the strength training we do. The lean tissue that develops as a result of doing a kind of more strength training or strength based work will not only support your skeletal system into later life, but that lean tissue contains lots of cells that contain the mitochondria that will help to boost your metabolism. So you, by strength training or by training your muscles, rather than doing long, slow cardio or a HIIT class or what have you, that will help to boost your metabolism, but it will also give your skeletal system lots of strength as well, so that you aren't necessarily exposed to things like osteoporosis and osteopenia. The second thing you want to try doing every day is walking. Walking is so beneficial for our insulin. It gets our insulin under control. It also helps to calm down cortisol, and we just get much better blood sugar balance when we've done some walking. So walking after a meal is really ideal, but equally as much, 45 to 50 minutes of walking can really calm the central nervous system down, calm cortisol down, which means when cortisol is low and insulin is low, those two hormones together become less of a fat storing hormone and much more fat burning hormones. And then the last thing you want to think about is some gentle movement like stretching, maybe some yoga, Pilates, reformer, that kind of thing. That is going to keep your muscles long and flexible. As we age, our muscles start to contract, and we want to make sure that we're keeping those muscles really, really long and elongated, because otherwise we end up with issues around injuries, or we'll find ourselves kind of not being able to move as freely as before. The key here is that you want to think about exercise or movement that helps to support your hormones, not work against them. So as I say, the strength training side of things will create the mitochondria in the lean tissue to boost your metabolism. The stretching movements of yoga or Pilates will help to keep those muscles longer and elastic to mean that you've got freer movement. And the walking helps to calm down insulin and cortisol, calms down your central nervous system, and means you can become a more effective fat burner. These are things that we focus on. These simple habits are the things we focus on in the Feel Fabulous Club, which is my membership for women who are over 40 and who want to lose weight, who want to feel good in their clothes, who want to live life full of confidence, energy, and joy, but don't want to necessarily be flogging themselves or going on a diet or restricting food. It's about getting simple, consistent actions in place that will make a huge difference long term. So if you want to know more about the Feel Fabulous Club, the link is in my bio below, but certainly be thinking about implementing that strength training, that walking, and that gentle movement that calms the nervous system down and elongates the muscles. Hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below, but equally as much, head over and have a look at the Feel Fabulous Club, because it might be the place that gives you that accountability to start making some changes after 40. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.